Ernie Spada joining us now on Humboldt State Tonight. Pleasure to have really the most senior member of the HSU Lumberjacks. How about that, Ernie? You're a sophomore and you've already got the most experience on this team. What's that like?
It's definitely different, especially coming from last year. You had guys like Will, Grayson, Devin. You had a lot of guys. This year kind of takes a lot more on my shoulders, kind of since I'm the only one that's been through it. And now that we're starting league, it's I'm kind of more of an influence, I guess, so to speak, on the team than just about anybody here.
Well, I guess you're used to getting thrown into things because last year you got thrown into the starting lineup and, you know, oh, geez, what are they doing putting a freshman in with these four seniors? Well, not only did you do a good job, you did a great job, and this team won a conference, and you didn't play like a freshman. You play like a junior, senior, right there with the rest of the guys, and now you're thrown into the leadership role. So I'm assuming you're used to just getting thrown into things at this point.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely, last year definitely helped this. I mean, it'd be a little different if I didn't see much playing time last year, but definitely last year's team and learning from those guys taught me a lot about what I can do for this team this year.
Yeah, is there ever like a feel sorry for me or hey coach, because most guys will get their freshman year and then junior, sophomore year at least before they have to work into that leadership role, but really you went from last year, I'm sure at times it was, hey, Ernie, shut up, be quiet, don't bother us. There's four seniors out here. You just do what we ask you to do, to now Coach Wood, you know, leaning on you for leadership.
Yeah, I mean, last year was definitely, you just kind of played your role and you let those guys take care of it, especially when you had guys that were all first team all league. You had Devin, who was the MVP of the Western region. I mean, but now this year is more, I kind of have to be vocal,
right,
and they look for me to kind of push people.
So what did you learn from those four seniors? And you look, you saw what it took in your freshman year at Humboldt State, what it takes to win a conference championship at Humboldt State. What did you learn, and how do you relay it to the new group of Lumberjacks?
Well, the way those guys approached every day. I mean, practice, they didn't really take any time off. They always worked hard in the weight room. It wasn't just when you saw them on the court, it was everything behind the scenes that made them successful. Like a guy like Will Schufelt, who's here for 5 years and busted his butt, and that's kind of what I definitely took away from that team.
What's it like for you being a leader off the court? Is that something you've embraced, or what's that like, obviously, having get thrown into that role as well when guys aren't sure, hey, Ernie, what do we do here? What's it like? What's it like playing at UC San Diego? What's it like when we play at San Bernardino?
It's definitely fun. I kind of embrace the role. It's definitely a change from last year, and it's nice to be almost looked up to, in a sense, by some of the young guys that haven't experienced it. So it's definitely a fun role to have.
Elliot Babcock-Crank, you played with him in high school, and he's here now as a freshman. The pipeline, the Lake Oswego pipeline now up in Oregon where you guys played. What's it been like for him, or do you find yourself, do you guys have a similar role to like you did in high school?
Yeah, kind of. Like, he came in here, and as a lot of people have seen, he's a physical player. And he went from a starter last year to a starter this year, and I think he's definitely loving it, and he's having a good time, and he's playing well for us.
What did you guys learn at your high school program that made you prepared? I mean, look at both of you guys go from Lake Oswego, and you're not the biggest name from that school. Maybe we'll get to that a little later. But what prepared you guys at the high school level up there in Oregon to make that quick transition here in Humboldt State?
Well, we got to play, well, actually, we had the luxury of playing with big players now in the NBA, but he got us a lot of big games, and we had a lot of experience playing the state championships, playing out of state, and that definitely transitioned us to become here and play in this Lumberjack arena that's packed every night.
Well, with that said, we might as well bring in our email question, dropping in here on Christmas Day. Santa, I want to thank you for making a stop by here on Humboldt State Tonight. Thank you. Cookies are, I think Ross and Don have got some cookies off camera. All right, Ernie, this is from Steven at HSU, and not Stephen K. I know there's some questions there. What was it like playing with Kevin Love? Kevin Love, of course, a star high school basketball player, a star at UCLA last year, a lottery pick, now playing in the NBA. What was that experience like?
It was awesome. I mean, not many people get a chance to play with a player of that caliber. I mean, I grew up with him. He was my next door neighbor, and I played with him since I was 3 years old. But he took us a lot of places, New York, Florida, that we got the luxury to play, and experiences like that are limited. So I was definitely pleased to have that experience.
You know, as much as you love Jameson and Colt, what was it like throwing down to Kevin Love on the low block?
Well, you didn't really have to worry about him getting blocked or anything. He was obviously skilled. I mean, number 5 pick in the draft, but when you threw it to him, you kind of expected an assist, and you're a little disappointed when you didn't get it. So it was definitely a little different experience.
Now, you guys still talk, still stay in touch?
Yeah, quite often.
So what's it like? I mean, here you guys were 2 years ago, you were both seniors at Lake Oswego. Last year you were both in college. Now he's a multimillionaire in the NBA. Yeah. What's that like when you talk to him? How is he embracing that? And does he sometimes say to you, man, I wish I was still in college?
You know, he said that it's definitely a different experience. It's a business, but he's loving it. He likes Minnesota, and to get to play against guys like Kevin Garnett every night is something that he definitely loves the challenge, and I think he's liking it, but it's definitely a totally different thing now that you have to think about him. You can turn on the TV and see him on all the time, but it's definitely fun, and I'm happy for him.
All right, this Christmas, obviously we're taping beforehand, Christmas Day edition. How do you plan on spending today, your Christmas holiday, before you get back to the CC2A grind as it really gets going?
I'm going to be with my family. You know, all my family's up in Oregon, so I'm looking forward to seeing them. Haven't seen them in a while, so just spending it with both my mom's parents and my dad's parents, and just going to hang out with the family.
Now, okay, real quick, what brought you to Humboldt State from Lake Oswego? We've established that pipeline, it seems, but you're not a state guy. Why did you come to Humboldt State?
I was sold when I came to watch the game. I actually was here for senior night when it was Kevin and Jeremiah. Okay. So seeing the way the fans are here and the way the community is, and going down to Mazzotti's after the games, that's what definitely sold me on this place.
And did you in turn sell that to your teammate EBK?
Yeah,
Babcock, correct?
I did. That is kind of the determining factor that I tried to push on him, that especially the coaches and the way they take care of you here, it's definitely an awesome community to play in.
Well, I can't wait to see who you're going to bring next year from Lake Oswego. But it's amazing. Ernie, only a sophomore and already a veteran, and we get to talk to him for a couple more years after this as well. Ernie, thank you for stopping by. That's right. It's the Christmas Day edition. So what do people here at Humboldt State want for Christmas? Let's find out. That's coming up next.